Welcome to JTOL, Just Thinking Out Loud, where everyday discussion for everyday people are spoken out loud. Now here's your host, Sonia Green.
Hey, welcome everybody, and hello. Welcome to this special event, this special broadcast of JTOL Productions, which we are talking today about grant funding, right? So, and this is part of what I do. The Blessing Project is part of the nonprofit part of JTOL Productions. So listen, I am so excited to have this awesome man who's coming to town. I hear what I'm saying. Please share this. This isn't the listen. I'm always bringing y'all some information to help build community, like become part of the conversation. So here's your opportunity to become part of this conversation. So I invited this awesome man, Mr. Osceola. I think I said it right, Thomas, to the city of Detroit to help us get this bag. I'm just talking to get this money. And so, listen, we need you to tell your leaders, your pastoral leaders, their grant writing team, all the people that we need to help shape this community. And let's make this city the city of light that Prophet Kim Clement, that the Lord said through Prophet Kim Clement, that Detroit is the city of light. Let's come on. Let's get this thing popping, y'all. Let's make it happen. Can you please, as Paul said, I'm begging you by the mercies of God, please share this broadcast with your leaders, with people that have nonprofits. Hear what I'm saying? And even for people who have for-profits. So I'm going to bring up this awesome man to talk to you about what we're planning on doing April the 22nd from 10 to 3. Now, I just want to say it's 10 to 3. It's 10, what 10 to 2? I should say it's 10 to 2. Included in your fee will be lunch, and we have a special surprise and a special gift for those who come and attend this gathering. So here I'm going to bring to you all Mr. Thomas. Hello there. Hello. It's such an honor to have you back on my show again. Can you please just tell us some about yourself?
Well, let me say it's a mutual pleasure to be here. My name is Osceola Thomas. I hail from the state of New Jersey. I currently reside in Surfside Beach, South Carolina. I am a nonprofit consultant and proposal writer. I create corporate structures, specifically 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofits. And then I write funding proposals at the state, county, and city level for those entities to receive startup capital so they can provide programs and services that align with their organizational mission so they can create change in their local communities for disenfranchised and marginalized populations. And once they become a subrecipient of state, county, or city funding, I then help them partner with post-secondary institutions so that their outcomes can be evaluated at the post-secondary level. I call those longitudinal studies to show that what they're doing is working. So they can then receive continuation funding to replicate their models, create subordinate chapters, and thereby have some organizational longevity. To date, I've been in business as a solo practitioner since 2018 and have brought in close to $80 million to start up nonprofits, school systems, and the faith-based community. And so I'm looking to come to Detroit to have this comprehensive dialogue with the nonprofits and the faith-based leaders to share with them the funding that's currently coming down the pike, how they can access those dollars, and why it's needful for them to be at the helm driving community change.
Awesome. That is, wow. That's a lot, man. You got this stuff rehearsed, because I'll be like, where are my notes? That just shows the skill, the level of your skill, and I so appreciate this. So let me just reiterate this again, please, you all. Listen, I come on here every Tuesday. Tonight we have a special night, and I'm just asking you all, please share this. We always talk about how we want to shape our city and how we want to do things for the city and how God is sending us in, sending kingdom folks in, and how we're going to take these mountains. We're going to jump in all this stuff. And here it is. God is sending us someone that we can have the ability to control the destiny and direction of where this kingdom is supposed to go. So please share this. I listen, I'm begging you. I'm begging you because we only got 50 seats. I just want you to know. And if we have to get somewhere bigger because you all are decide you want to come, that'll be fantastic as well. But anyway, as I was saying, he just gave a short definition of what short. When I tell you short, I'm listen. He's a great. I love to be around people who are constantly proceeding forward and who are forward thinking. But so, Osceola, see, I've been practicing. I'm getting good. You see that? I told
Certainly.
so.
Very good.
So you had shared with me. I saw a couple of posts that you had put out about what President Biden was doing again, and in addition, you just shared with me the governor was doing. Can you just share that with the people?
Yes. So President Biden, under his administration and the American Rescue Plan, he has the highest allocations in history for structured after school and summer programming. So I'm admonishing the faith-based community, nonprofits, and these are even startup nonprofits are eligible to apply for these dollars. This again is the highest allocation in history. And President Biden has the second highest allocation in history for juvenile justice funding, second only to President Obama in 2010. So I really want the faith-based community to come out and to take advantage of this great opportunity to hear about the funding that's currently operating at a national level and also within their respective states and how they can access these dollars. So the U.S. Department of Education has recently also discussed this engaging every student initiative, where there are dollars being set aside to make sure that every child who desires a seat in a structured after school program, what they call out of school time learning program, that they will have the opportunity to engage such services. So this is sponsored by the U.S. Department of Education. I'll be discussing that particular initiative. And now the conversation is at the state level with the governors, where the governors are now advocating for additional funding for structured after school and also summer programming. So when you talk about Biden having the highest allocations, the U.S. Department of Education, through engaging every student initiative, discussing allocating additional dollars, and now the governors are talking about allocating additional dollars. This is unprecedented. If there ever was a time for the church to be coming to the funding table to apply for dollars, the time is now. So this is the conversation that I want to have, to share how you can apply for educational dollars, how you can operate as a faith-based initiative to provide community-based diversion for youth who are at risk of becoming involved in the criminal justice or juvenile justice system, and how you can also provide these same services to their parents or their families to ensure that all life domains are provided for. So you're creating self-sufficiency among your consumer population so that they are no longer dependent on formal services intervention. We must create a self-sufficient people. That's the conversation.
Yes, we can't just continue to talk about it. We have to you say faith without works is dead, right? So you
That's
gotta right. So you have to put your feet in this mouth and these hands to use money. Literally, this is the wealth of the wicked being turned over to the just. Y'all taught us that scripture 10,000 times. Y'all confess it everywhere at church. Now here it is being manifest. Let's make this thing happen. So can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm just reading these comments. I meant to put them up, so I apologize. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is. So listen, let me just say this before I ask you this question. This gathering, this event will be April the 22nd, 2023 at Durfee Innovational Society at 2470 Collingham Street, Detroit, Michigan, 48206. Listen, you have to pre-register. If you go to wait a minute, TB Projects Oh God, listen, I'm so tongue tied. Forgive me. I'm going to give you the exact name. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm usually more prepared. If you go to at pay.tbproject2.com, you can pay there, or or you can go to https //tbproject2.com for more information about what's happening. Listen, don't some people may say, oh, it's look how much it is. Well, listen, do you know how much people charge to do what he's doing? And because he loved the people of God, he loved God's people, that he's willing to come out here and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. Is it only for educational only? I do have a nonprofit organization. I am in need of some help. Can you answer that? But let me finish what I was saying. So listen, within that 150, we're feeding you lunch. You're getting what he's teaching. And in addition, for all those who prepay, not at the door, what are you going to give them? You said you're
So
going to do something special for them.
yes. So what I have agreed to do, because I want to make sure, again, the goal is for every community to win. So I want to make sure that startup nonprofits in the faith-based community have an opportunity to not only apply, but to receive funding. So as I shared with you, from since 2018 to date, I have brought in almost $80 million for startup nonprofits, school systems, and the faith-based community. So those who pre-register, I am personally going to provide each one of those attendees with one of my awarded grants that's awarded at least $1.6 million. So I will be providing that to them as a template that their organization can use. And that'll be my gift.
See, so y'all better jump on this. It's only 50 seats. So I feel like, hey, better. You need to jump on it again. You can go to the Blessing Project. Can you please, let me see. Can you please put the information so I can lock in a spot? So I'm going to give me a minute and I will put that across. I'll scroll it across there. I'm sorry, I wasn't more prepared as I should have been. I didn't realize everybody's going to jump on this. Praise God. I have a for-profit and it's not for schools. What if you can't attend in person? Well, we didn't prepare for not attending in person, but Miss Sobella, if you send me an email, let's talk. Let's talk about it. And you can send me an email at jtoltv2@gmail.com. Again, you can send me an email at jtoltv2@gmail.com. So, so we talked about this. So we shared something. Oh, that was me sending out all those emails to those folks. Let's see, here she go. I am part of an educator coalition who needs money to start a school in WVA. We need this money. Amen. That's my sister right there. I've been telling people about it. The moment I spoke about it to a couple of my friends, my people as close to my heart, one sister, the day I just started talking about it, she already bought her airline ticket here. So so they are really excited about this, what's going to happen. So let me ask you something else. We are coming to the D, absolutely. So let me just say something else. You talked about. Let me just share my story, how I was introduced to this awesome man. My sister Erica in Chicago, she had a nonprofit grant. I'm just starting my nonprofit. I'm just starting it, and what kind of happened, she sent me, I said I'm coming to support her. Now I don't know, I ain't got nothing to do with education. I'm in film, right? How's this gonna help me? What am I gonna do, right? So I listened, and the information he gave was so impacting to me, but I still didn't see a path forward how it was going to help me. So what he started talking about one of his grants that he wrote for someone that received funding. I think it was $100,000 or $200,000, a first time nonprofit, which is unheard of. I just want you to know that. And when he got through telling us all everything about the grant, then he said, well, guess what this person wanted to do? What was his purpose for starting this education thing? He said he started a film school. I fell out the chair because That is exactly it wasn't anybody in there doing film schools. It was just me. Nobody in there was doing film except me. And so I knew this was a God thing. And how and why I told you that story, because if it was a God thing for me, it's a God thing for you. So listen, stop playing around with it. If you're serious about making change, number one, you're serious about receiving this nonprofit money, this funding to make change in your community, quit talking about it and do something about it. You must be here. Can I ask you something, sir? You We talked about what the governors are doing in each of these states. So can you tell us again? I just want them to hear this again, what you're saying about what the governors are doing in each state, because they realize that we have to make a change in this country, and they're willing to dish out this money to make that change. And it's not just in Michigan, it's all the governors across, majority of the governors except, I mean, across the United States. Now, I can't speak about Ron DeSantis. I don't know what he's doing because he's trying to cut all education, but I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I'm going to let you talk and me shut up. Uh-oh.
Well, let me first just say this. I want to make sure I go back and clarify. So you're right. Uh, when I was in Chicago, I talked about my client who actually started an arts program. He was a high school teacher. I created his 501c3 tax exempt nonprofit. He applied the first year after receiving his tax determination letter from the Internal Revenue Service, and he received funding to start an arts program that had a film component attached to it. So this was not $100,000. This was a $1.2 million award that he received, not having been in existence as a 501c3 for one calendar year. So less than a calendar year, first time applying for funding, received over a $1.2 million grant award. And then I had him apply the second year, and we created an LLC subsidiary attached to that 501c3. So the opportunities were definitely there. And I shared with him the big push in the country is STEAM. Historically, it was STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But now we have incorporated the arts. So his arts component was performing arts and cinematography. So that opportunity is certainly there. Now, with regard to the governors and what's happening at the state level, you must understand, and I'll talk about how this works at the workshop. But every state receives a federal allotment every fiscal year. Those states who receive their annual allotment, they use those funds so they can administer structured after-school programs, juvenile justice programs, diversion programs, gang prevention, intervention and suppression services, reentry programming, etc. The governors are now talking about, since under Biden administration, there's this allocation under the American Rescue Plan for structured after school. And now the U.S. Department of Education, through the Engage Every Student initiative, with this increase in funding, or us reaching this historical landmark with these dollars, the governors are now advocating for additional funding for structured after school in their respective states. And so that was just posted in a recent article on the After School Alliance website. So I had an opportunity to look at that article and to see what state legislatures are proposing. So this is an unprecedented time in our country. And again, I'm admonishing all faith-based institutions and nonprofits to join us in Detroit on April 22nd to have this comprehensive dialogue. My goal is to show you how to apply for dollars that meet the needs of youth and families across homes, schools, and community, so that we can create something holistic in scope so there are no cracks for children and families to fall through. That is the goal.
Wow. So here again, got to set up. He said he's taking that money from the wealthy, right, and giving it to the just. So come on through and let's make a difference in what we're doing. So you said something. Let me ask you, what about daycares? Is that kind of a intervention program? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So you have, when you talk about child care development centers, and every state is different. So with these child care development centers, you have the non-school age population and the school age population. So under structured after school dollars, structured after school also provides a certain portion of that funding for before school programs. So child care centers can apply for before school programs for those children who are school age. They can come to their center before school starts, and then they can transport those students to school for the start of their school day. Then they can pick them up after school and bring them back to their center and provide structured after school by creating a partnership with the school district or what is called the local educational agency, the LEA. So there's opportunities for them to do that. And then there's also opportunities for them to apply for funding under the Child Care Development Block Grant. And you're talking about over $350 billion allocated for child care development centers to provide low-income families with opportunities for their children to engage structured daycare services while they're at their places of employ. All this is under the American Rescue Plan.
Woo! Listen, that sounds like this just gravy. All you got to do is show up. Am I right? All you have to do is show up. So, in the process of all of this, so what I love about, listen, bring your pen, bring your paper, bring your heart to receive, bring your mind. And don't come here thinking, well, I write grants all the time, so it doesn't, he's not going, what can he tell me that I don't know? Listen, pride goeth before the fall and a haughty heart before destruction. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And I'm not knocking your knowledge. Let me just say that I am not saying anything about what you know and what you don't know. But what I am saying, listen, we never get too old, never get too smart to not learn and receive. There's always someone smarter than you. There's always someone who knows a better path or a better way than you. So I will advise you, come on through here and make your way here. Again, we only have 50 seats. 50 seats. And listen, even if we get more than 50, then we'll have to find somewhere else. But I only booked a place for 50 seats because I think it's very important and very vital that we shift this country. Can I just say something about Detroit? Because I believe that when Detroit is shifted, the whole country will shift. Because why do I say that? Because number one, Detroit created the middle class. Let me just help y'all. Number two, Detroit changed how the world hear music, hear sound. Detroit changed the sound of the world. Can I do something? Number three, Detroit caused the world to move in a different way. What do you mean? The automotive. Detroit has been a number one in shipping and shaping how this country flowed since its inception. I said that right. So listen, be part of that move. Be part of that shift. Come on through here and make a change in this country. Listen, I'm going to take a station break because I know we've said quite a bit. And I know you have to think about some of this stuff. So we're going to just take a few minutes and take a break. And guess what? We'll be right back. Just hang on.
Hey, what's up? I'm Coach E, the owner of Fit Habit Fitness and Supplements. Most of our clients come to us because they don't have time to get to the gym. They hate sharing equipment at the gym. They need more accountability. They need someone to prepare a meal plan and monitor their daily food intake. They hate doing cardio all day. They hate drinking shakes all day, and they want real food. They need to lose more than 50 pounds, have small children at home. They want not just a six-pack, but they want their life back. They want to build confidence, look great, but also feel great. They want to lose the weight and keep it off as a lifestyle change. Get off the high blood pressure medication. The list goes on. Our online training is a new and exciting way for me to offer cost-effective fitness and nutrition, life-changing transformation coaching for the entrepreneur who works from home, who needs an effective program without the limitations and expenses of the gym. Our coaching program can be utilized by anyone, anywhere, offering convenience, responsiveness, flexibility, and accountability. Best of all, I can empower my clients with more accountability and support than I ever could in person. So I want to talk to you today. Let's schedule a free consultation and goal assessment so I can see if you will be a great fit for our fitness and nutrition coaching program. Click the link below to get started today. Let's get fit. Peace.
Are you ready? You know what I mean. Good collard green. We stay on the scene. Good collard green. You know what I mean. Good collard green. We stay on the scene. Good collard green.
Welcome back to JTOL TV Talk, where we have a special show tonight, and we're here to share about what's happening up here in the D. Listen, it's your opportunity to make a change. It's your opportunity to shift your community. It's your opportunity to shift the things around you. You know, for years and years, I've heard people talk about what they want to do. Now that you have the funding, listen, you can possibly get this funding to really shape your community. Do you realize that if they said, I wish I had the numbers and stats, I apologize for not doing that, but how they talk about how when babies go to preschool and how it changes how they think, right? And it talks about when children have something to do after school. It's no longer the days when I was a kid and Mr. Thomas was a kid where everybody on the block knew you and your parents gave everybody on the block the permission to get with you, and then you got home. So these kids need some things to do, and why not create that atmosphere of things to do, especially this summer? You know, we see in the patterns of the weather is changing. We might have 90-degree weather. So, you know, when it's hot, crime increases, right? Because they're out here in these streets trying to find something to do. So if you all would just come on and be a part of this. And Lumingo, I hope I'm saying your name properly. Forgive me if I'm not. It starts at 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 2. So, but in any case, I really want to really talk about, we talked about the daycare. We talked about the nonprofits. Did we miss anything, sir? Oh, I did it
With
again.
them, also about the juvenile justice funding. So the goal is to teach them how to create a comprehensive strategy where they can diversify funding streams, not just applying for structured after school, but also applying for juvenile justice dollars. And so the goal is, again, for them to be able to replicate their model, create subordinate chapters, and to have some organizational longevity. So I want to show them how to do that, and also how to leverage community support so they can have sustainability planning in place. So that's going to be the goal. And this is for the novice recipient who has not yet received grant funding, those startups that have less than 3 years under their belt as an organization. So many times I hear individuals say, well, unless you have 3 years organizational history, you're not eligible to apply for grant funding. And that's not true. Several of my clients have received multi-million-dollar awards with less than a year of organizational history. And I just lastly want to share this, that there is no such thing as a grant writer. Notice I introduced myself as a proposal writer. So I write proposals for nonprofits to receive grant funding. So grant funding is what nonprofits receive when their proposals are awarded by grant review committees. So I'm going to come out and share with you all of the funding opportunities that exist within the state because of federal funding. And then the goal is to teach you strategies so you can implement those strategies into your application so that you're submitting a competitive proposal for the grant review committee. So that's an overview of the workshop.
And can I say something? Listen, he had so much information. It just like, woo, I couldn't write enough. I couldn't do anything fast enough to garner all the things that he was sharing and releasing so that I can make our community better. I just want to say one more thing. In today's America, they are killing the educational system for children that look like us. They are destroying it. They're removing our history. They are getting raggedy books. Matter of fact, some of them don't even have books. They're not teaching them proper English, proper math. As truth be told, they're really training them from what you call it, pipeline to prison.
The preschool to prison pipeline.
And so, and now it's our responsibility. We need to stop looking at everyone else to educate our children, right? We need to step up. We always love this famous model. It takes a village, y'all. So here's the village coming to say, come and help the rest of the village to help train and teach our children to put them on a trajectory of to be successful in life. You know, we can't depend on everybody else to teach them about who we are, right? We have the ability now. Listen, the days of the excuses are really over. This is we talk about, and I'm talking to the church now. Let me say, somebody say, Amen. We talk about all these things. You know, the wealth of the wicked is going to be turned over to the just. We talk about how we have to go in and train. If we train up a student, train up a child, when he grows old, he won't depart. It's more than just the Bible. We talk about all these things, how we have to go in and strengthen our community. And the first thing we say we don't have funding, but here's funding being provided. We need to learn how to access that funding properly, that we can be successful and be able to go in and change communities instead of moving out of the communities. Let's change this community or your community in your neighborhood. So, sir, I'm going to let you have the last word, and I'm going to remove myself and go ahead and say what you want to say.
So there was a comment made earlier, I saw in the bottom of the chat, where someone was inquiring about, is this strictly for educational programming? And one of the things that I want to share is that these grant dollars, you have structured after school grant dollars, you have juvenile justice dollars, but these dollars, when you access these dollars, they must be used within the context of the family. So with structured after school dollars, if you're providing services for the child, there is a mandatory family component that must be incorporated into your program model. If you're applying for juvenile justice dollars, there is a mandatory parent skill building component that must be incorporated into your parent model. So one of the things that I'm sharing is data should drive programming. The goal should be to survey the needs of your community to find out what those needs are. It's not about if we build it, they'll come. That's not true. You must identify what the needs of your constituents are. And once you identify those needs, then provide programs and services to address those unmet needs. So if you understand that you're dealing with a low-income community, you can partner with a financial institution to come in and teach financial literacy, the goal being to eradicate poverty and create generational wealth. If parents have not completed their secondary schooling, you can partner with a community college to come in and set up an adult basic education / GED program. So now you're graduating these parents from secondary schooling, and then they can engage certification programs through that same community college so that now they're learning a skill to provide them with a livable wage. And then the goal would be to move them from governmental housing to home ownership. So now you're putting them on a trajectory where they're able to mobilize themselves from poverty to middle class to affluence. That should be the goal, and it should be a national blueprint so we can change the face of poverty for Black and brown people. That's the conversation we want to have.
That sounds like a good conversation to me, sir. Sounds like a wonderful conversation to me. So listen, I'm going to give you the information again. This gathering, so that's the church name. This meeting, this workshop will be held April the 22nd, 2023 from 10 to 2 p.m. in the D, also known as Detroit, Michigan, at Durfee Innovation Society. Address is 2470 Collingwood Street, Detroit, Michigan. Listen, you have to pre-register. You can register at pay.tbproject2.com. That's pay, P-A-Y, .tbproject, PJOJECT2.com. If you want to register, you can also go to the website, which is https tbproject2.com. And that's just nothing but known as the Blessing Project. That's the Blessing Project short acronym because somebody stole the blessing. So anyway, but anyway, listen, you all, please share this. I just hate that a lot of people weren't on here and not to really receive and hear. Listen, you can. I like what Fannie Lou Hamer says. She said you can pray all you want, but if you don't put no action to that prayer, you just praying. You just praying. So anyway, I just want to thank you again, sir. I so appreciate you taking time out to come and share. We are so looking forward to what you have to share with us to cause our lives to change, to impact our community, to shift a generation, to mature one that isn't mature yet. And it just blesses my heart because I'm excited because I feel, can I go on my preach? I feel, I'm gonna quit joking. The hand of the Lord up on this. And it would, because I know you are extremely busy. You were just sharing with me that pastors all across the United States are calling you and asking you to come in and share what you're sharing with us. And listen, y'all need to get on this quick. And it is not about no first come, first serve. Let me just make that clear. It's not about a first come, first serve. Some places have the ability to hold a larger accommodations, and some places don't. Again, as he has stated before, it just depends on what you have. And let's just meet that need. You may only can feed 50 people, but the church around the corner may be able to feed 1,000. But listen, everybody's being fed. So let's just make this happen, y'all. Listen, I want this place to be packed out, not because of me, but because let's shift this country. They keep saying we can't do it, but it seems like we always doing it. Let's shift this country and what they think about who we are. Let's really show that we have the tenacity and the willpower and the love to do this, right? Because it's all about love, the bottom line. But God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever. So we love, and he put that, he said, you will know us what? By the love we have for one another. And this is love. It ain't coming in the form we ain't hug, ain't no hugging and kissing, but this is love. Love sometimes come in food. Love sometimes come in education, right? Love comes in healthcare. That's love. So listen, please share this. Apostle Julie, I'll get that information to you. Listen, again, you can find out more information if you go on to HT on the website at the blessing at tbproject2.com, https://. Even if you pay, you want to register, that link is there too, also to register. So you all be blessed. Sir, I just honor you so much, and I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I don't think they really understand what we have in the midst of who you are. And, I know the Bible says, don't puff yourself up, but I'm honoring you. I don't think they realize what we have in you, and that we should take advantage of what we have that God is giving us so that we can make a change. And listen, I just want to say something. Nonprofits are not here to make you wealthy. So I just want to say that. Also, he has a great book, The streets can't have my son. We did a show on that. If you want to see that, that's very impactful for what there it is. The streets can't. When I tell you it's a great book, I couldn't put it down. It's a great book. Listen, I didn't have enough time to ask him all the questions and things I wanted to talk about in that book. So God bless you all. Listen, we will see you all April the 22nd. That's a Saturday. If you need to reach out, just go to the website and hit me up. And I know I'm talking a lot of street lingo. Just tap into it. Let me see. And just go to the website. You can send your questions and ask your questions there. In the meantime, God bless you. You all have a thank you, Lamunga, Lamingo. I'm going to learn these names. You know, someone said this. We can learn all these other weird names. You know, we learn all the skis but we need to learn when we have unique names. We need to learn how to say them. And I said that I was going. Okay, I'm gonna give you that, sis. I said I was going to learn his name before I before I speak to him again, and I have learned it because I rehearsed it in my head. So it's important. So God bless you, you all. Listen, y'all have a wonderful day. I know I'm rambling, but I'm really looking to really get my stuff together so I can cut off the show. So God bless you, man of God. And listen, and I want to say this: if you don't know, he is a man of God. He's an ordained minister. And so, you know, his heart is in the right place. He wants to help the people of God become successful. Then you should know. You have to tell them you can't go. Forget that, Nat. So anyway, that's a friend of mine. So anyway, God bless you, brother. I'm going to put you in the green room. We'll be right back.
Certainly.
Hey, thank y'all for checking us out and rocking with us today on this special broadcast of JTOL TV Talk, where we were talking about the event that we are sponsoring, having coming up. And it's for the Blessing Project, which is the nonprofit end of JTOL Productions. And what we do, we train film school, we educate and teach on film school. So we do a whole lot more. We like the parents, and that's my goal. So we're setting it up. And let me share this with you, and I'm gonna get off of here. I was talking to a friend of mine about that, and I told her, she's like, and they are computer scientists, and she's like, girl, I'm gonna get some people, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna go in and train the kids on coding. They're going to train them on how to repair computers. They're going to begin to train them on cybersecurity. Just talk. I had just left his event and just talking about it. And she's like, she got more excited than I did. So listen, they are waiting. They're waiting for us to set it, right? Not you build it and then come. No, you got to open your mouth and people got to see movement before they'll be about it. So anyway, God bless you all. You all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching the special broadcast of JTOL TV Talk, where we're talking about the you can get grant funding workshop, which will be April the 22nd, 2023 from 10 to 2 in the D at Old Durfee Middle School. If you want to register, go to tbproject2.com and you can get registered there. Hey, until then, God bless you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to be talking about prison reform. God bless.
Join us here next time on JTOL, Just Thinking Out Loud, where we ask and answer questions no one is willing to ask.